Someone has spent close to 30 modding one. Do I do a full kit and go all out like that? Hi guys, and welcome back, and welcome to another video where you join me on what is quite a wet and miserable day. But what is the exciting part is I am back in my BMW M2. I feel that this car has been a little bit neglected on my channel since the arrival of my Lamborghini Huracan, and modifying that car, this car has sort of just sat here and hasn't done much. But what I really want to do is start giving this car more love, using it even more. Let me explain what is happening today. I'm off to find Paul Wallace, Paul from Supercars of London, and we're just gonna have a fun day out. He is turning up in his Mercedes C63 AMG, the heavily modified one. Enjoy what is gonna be a fun day in the rain, two rear-wheel drive cars in the rain. We have arrived at the meeting point where I'm just about to meet Paul, and behind me my BMW M2 sits. I'm so happy just to be back with my daily driver. I love it so much. It is such a wicked bit of kit. It is filthy. It is totally filthy. So I will be giving it some love. I know every time I seem to talk about this car, I say, oh, my car's filthy, but yeah, it's pretty dirty. The presence of an M2, wow, it's wicked. And what Paul is so good on, whenever I'm modding cars, he's just the perfect man to give me advice. And you can hear him. He's in his Mercedes C63. It is sounding incredible. We're in the rain, we're in the wind, but it doesn't stop us filming. Da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Paul. Oh, hello sir. Looks very good. All I heard was a poof.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks great. You behave. I know what you're thinking.
I've got new tyres on, so no.
There they are, parked up together. They look great together. Oh! What we're gonna do is we're gonna jump in my BMW M2. We're gonna go for a drive, talk about all things modifications. Here we go.
Here we roll.
Here we roll. Do you want traction control on or off? You're a drifter, mate.
You can have it off if you want. Go on.
I don't like it. I'm not used to this.
There's some of the latest Archie Hamilton content. You'll know that you are, in fact, a retired racing driver.
Talk to me, what mods and stuff. There are so many things that we can do with this car.
I think the M2 is becoming one of those cars that tuners love to design new aero kits for, wings, wheels. It's becoming a popular car. To begin with, BMW seemed to sort of bottleneck production, and they didn't seem like there was that many on the road, but I see a lot more on the road now.
Many.
I love the presence of it. Like, it looks so good. If I was in that Fiat 500 there, I'd be like, yeah, M2. Looks sick. Like, it's got such a nice bit of road presence.
I think it's the nicest. I know you've owned an M3, but it's the nicest M car.
I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
Okay.
It's the best sounding as well.
I think front splitter.
Yep.
You can spend. Do you realise you can spend like 50 grand on modding one of these if you wanted to?
What?
Yeah.
50 grand? How much does the car cost?
That's how much someone has spent 50 grand
so they've
on
got
roll cage. Literally, you can put a roll cage in it, racing drummer.
Yeah.
Front splitter, rear wing.
Okay. Does it look good?
Side skirts. It looks a bit much.
Okay.
But honestly, my point being here is that if you wanted to,
you can go crazy.
Yeah.
So have they tried to build an M2 GTS? Like, what is
they
the
tried
M4?
to build an M2? Yes.
An M2 GTS.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what they've tried to build.
Okay.
But that's all. Obviously, everything is. All that stuff is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the obvious things. Firstly, regardless of whether you buy a Prius or whether you buy a Ferrari 458, the first mod is always the exhaust, which you've done.
Done that completely.
Let's talk about wraps.
No. Well, okay, we can't.
Because it's not really a modification; it's more of a customization. But you are doing a very good job of not wrapping your car at the moment.
And it's not going to be wrapped.
This car is staying black.
Staying black.
Is that an exclusive?
That is an exclusive to Archie Hamilton Racing. Yeah, do you know why? Because when I've driven past M2s, the only colour I feel from the outside looking in that I think looks the best is black. So it's going to stay black, but then I'm also going to get started with splitters. Potentially, I'm not going to do a rear wing.
But are you going to do a ducktail? Like a carbon little boot lid?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's what I want. And so side skirts as well.
Yeah,
you don't get the blades. But mine doesn't have that.
But do you think, and I'm going to reference your Hurricane here, because do you think that if you put an aftermarket wing, or let's say you do a front splitter, side skirts, and a boot lid,
yeah,
but not a rear diffuser, like you don't go for an aggressive rear diffuser, you look at it from behind, that it still looks too factory? Because on your Hurricane, you've got an aftermarket wing, but everything else is stock.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that if you put a front splitter, side skirt,
it needs
rear
more
diffuser, then it would look a lot more aggressive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that your Hurricane doesn't look good, because
I'm like, what are you trying to say?
It's one of the coolest specs that I've seen.
Yep.
But if you put a front splitter and stuff on it, it would look. What about Alcantara steering wheel?
Yeah. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you can get a really nice Alcantara steering wheel with one of those little bits up there. What's that called?
Do you know what that is? That's the M Performance wheel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you have the shift lights which come here, and then
I don't think that's from BMW with the shift lights. I think it's an aftermarket thing. I think
you know how much that is? It's 1,500 quid.
Is it?
Something like that.
What about more power?
No.
Everything needs more power.
No, you won't be seeing my car getting tuned either.
Really?
Yeah, honestly. I'm not going to tune it.
What about Lambo doors?
Hello, mate.
Has that got your dad's name on it?
Did you know I used to race?
How old is that?
And Hamilton crashes the line in last. Now I've really messed it up.
Oh, you've broken one now. It's not even first.
No, this is when I finished third, mate.
That literally looks like a school project that I did when I was in year 8. Bit of acrylic, a bit of metal.
What do you reckon? First time you've heard it?
It's the first time I heard it.
Right, you want to go louder? You go louder, mate. I know that was it. We're here, we can see your Mercedes C63.
Right, it's dirty.
Yeah, it is dirty.
And it's just had tyres done, so they've like put stuff around the outside, so I haven't actually curved my wheel.
Oh, right, yeah, I've had that before. It does look a little bit messy for a few days, doesn't it? Carbon fibre rear wing on the back. Can we call it a rear wing, or do we call it a rear lip?
Ducktail or boot lid?
Yeah, that's what I want for the M2. Do you have a front plate on there as well?
Around the other side.
Around the other side. But that works very well. But that looks so good. And you were saying that it gets so much attention, doesn't it?
It gets, I would say, ever so slightly less than when I had the AMG GTS. Like, I was in traffic in the M25 and I could count every single car that was directly in front of me, behind me, blah, 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 blah. I was all taking pictures of it, all at the same time.
Go for a drive?
Yeah.
Because I've not been in this since it's been...
Exhausted,
modded, and everything else. Oh, mate. That is utterly absurd.
Oh, you haven't actually heard it?
No, I haven't.
It's loud. It's really loud.
Really?
Ready?
I'm ready, man. I'm a good passenger, I promise you. Oh! It's how it literally goes. Pop, 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 pop. I remember when you were thinking about getting one, you're like, trust me, I can get a C63. I'm not getting an S because it will look probably better than an S when I finish with it. And I can see what you've done. Sorry. Yours is sitting a lot nicer as well.
It sits really nice. It's got the spacers.
Oh, yeah. I might have to do that.
So whilst you're saying, oh, I don't want to lower it because at the moment it still feels like I'm driving on a cloud, like the sort of feel that I have through the steering as I'm braking, like it's just soft,
and
like, the turning soft, like, and now that I've got the right tyres on the car, like, it's just such a cruise. Like, there's a little rumble which is just nice to have because
that's nice to have. You want something.
Yeah, just so that you know that you're in a V8.
Yeah. You can now see everything you've done and why you've done it.
Yeah.
Whereas whenever I do anything with any car, I usually do mess it up. So I'm gonna get started. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So I'm now back in London after what was a seriously fun day with the M2 and Paul's C63 AMG, which was mad. On the way home, it was torrential rain, so I didn't film at that point. At that point, I just want to keep the car in a straight line. But modifications is gonna be seriously exciting. I cannot wait to transform the M2, to change it quite a lot, pretty drastically, in fact. And that is not done by a wrap. That is not happening. You're probably thinking it's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm not wrapping this car. I promise you, it's not gonna be happening. I mentioned earlier you can spend something like £50,000 modifying an M2. It's actually £30,000, not 50. Someone has spent close to 30 modding one. Do I do a full kit and go all out like that? It's tempting. You could literally just do roll cage, rear wing, everything, kind of turn it into like a racing car. What do you guys think? Do you want to see an M2 like that? But let me know what you think and let me know what mods you want. Put it down in the comment section down below. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you all very soon.